Yeah, we so loud we guys hear it twice. Welcome everybody to Back from the Dead. I am the BrettMan. This is Destiny. So Destiny, how are we doing today?
Pretty good. I've
Good.
been up
So
for hours.
there you go. And you had a pretty busy movie weekend as well. With all the actually, you had a pretty good month with movies, I would say.
Yeah, not as good as last month. Because
Uh,
I counted it yesterday. Actually, I watched. I think it was 57 movies last month, and
Holy
that
shit!
died down because of the cruise. Without the cruise, I would have at least been like in the 70s. This month,
Holy
it's only
crap!
been like I'll probably watch like 30 movies in total. But
And are most of those like newer movies or like movies you've seen in the past? Because I know you've been on the Twilight kick lately, which
oh
that's
yeah,
appropriate for this month. So, and I'm pretty sure
absolutely.
I saw you have given all of them a 5 out of 5. You think the whole series is a golden reel?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I'm listening to Decode by Paramore, which is in Twilight, the first movie. It just came on, so it's like perfect timing. I love Twilight. I was a Twilight girl. Like that was like I was telling Brayden this. I was like, this was like my Marvel. And Breaking Dawn Part 2 was my like Avengers Endgame, like for real. Because I was so dedicated to these movies and like I read all the books, so huge fan. And I watched Twilight last year, and it was like the first time in years. And usually, when I go back, I watch the first one and I'll watch Breaking Dawn Part 2 because those are my favorites. But I was like, you
Hmm.
know what? I'm going to just rewatch the whole franchise. It's been a while for those in between movies. And I love them. Like, are they like actually 5-star movies? No,
No.
absolutely not. Do I care though? No. And so, do I think they're 5 stars? Yes, because I get excited. I'm amped up when their fight scenes are happening. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I cried. I was crying yesterday morning watching Breaking Dawn Part 2. It happens every time I watch it, I cry. And so that's what I did. So, like, every time I watch them, it's just like, it's great. It just takes me back to being like, I was in fourth grade whenever I like fell in love with Twilight. So it's just like that time before like One Direction, Twilight, and then One Direction was like the next big thing. So yeah, I will always
You
love
will die
Twilight.
on that hill.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. And I wasn't trying to embarrass Brad, but like I actually do like the Twilight series as well. I just haven't watched them in a long time, especially with like since doing reviews and YouTubing. So I think it'd be interesting if I went back and see like if my opinions change or anything like that. So you were kind of the motivator on that one. It's like, I might give it a watch if I can find it somewhere to stream. Uh
they're on Hulu right
oh,
now.
bam. If I could
That's what
just
I
stop
watched.
watching Next Level Kitchen with Chef Ramsay and the gang, because that's the new Chef Ramsay show I'm watching. I just cannot stop because I've already rushed through the first, like the new season of American, like the Nightmare Kitchen with like the last year's season. So I'm just waiting on next year. So I'm just trying to preoccupy myself before it's time to watch action movies.
Yeah, see, and I'm already sad that I finished them so fast. I'm like, damn, I kind of
But
want to
that's
do it
but that's
again.
your story, Fo. You just once you got your mind to something, you don't stop.
Yeah, like yesterday morning, I woke up at 6 a.m. and I started Breaking Dawn Part 2, or Breaking Dawn probably at like 7, and I did them back to back. And I don't even think I've ever actually watched those two movies back to back, which was fun. Actually, to be honest, I skipped like, I love Breaking Dawn Part 1 up until she's pregnant and she's like,
Yeah.
because I don't like pregnancy horror movie, or like, I don't like pregnancy movies. And like, to
Hmm.
me, watching that is scary. I'm like, that is when her back. So I was fast forwarding to like the very end because I was like, I can't watch that part. But everything up until that, I love it. Think it's beautiful. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun. I know people still shit on them, which is a little crazy. It's been so long, but it's one of those things I've talked about when something is predominantly like female fan base, it just
Hmm.
gets shit on. It's like, oh my god, let us live. Let us
Yeah.
live. You can have your sports, which I do somewhat enjoy, and I watch my Twilight and live.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
that's it.
and that's a great thing. Just live. That'll be today's hashtag. Actually, hashtag just live. And kind of like you said, the haters. Like I just experienced it with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Taylor Swift drama bullshit. So it's kind of almost an easy comparison. Like it's out there, so like Destiny said, just live. And we're gonna live because we got a great show for you today. A kind of a not busy month, even though Destiny kind of is my backup, and she found two that really do need to talk about. So just in case if you're new here, Back from the Dead is a show where we celebrate horror movie anniversaries. But we can't do all of February because that would take us like 6 hours to do so. And with the contract and everything, Destiny only allows me with 2 hours. So we got to respect that, or I got to pay a lot of money out of my pocket. So let's do that. So we decided we're going to do it the integrals of 5. So anything ending in the year 9 and 4 for this year, those are the horror movies we will talk about. And we will also revisit the movies from last year because it's also important to celebrate those movies having a big year anniversary. So before we start, I want to say hello to the chat. We got Chester saying good morning. We got Rosie, my dear Rosie. I got you ready as always. Here is your rose, the best rose on the YouTube game circuit. So there you go, Rosie, my dear. See, they're just chatting away. We got Brother Fluff. What's going on, Brother Fluff? Saying his favorite Prince song is Salisbury Barrett. Barrett? Oh my, or Barrett? Okay, I can't speak today. So this is not a good start. Even though I do speak better for Brad, if you saw the last Good Real Live, Brad was all over the place. So at least I'm a little better. Raymond saying, hey, Destiny and Brett, ladies first. You know what? No, I do not blame you. So he's just saying hello to everybody. What's up, Raymond? We got Ashton. What's going on there, Ashton? We got Zodiac Z. What's going on there, Zodiac? Let's see here. Who else we got here? We got Davey. What's going on there, Davey? How are you doing? We got Sebastian, who just woke up for this occasion. He's legitimately back from the dead right now with him just waking up. So what's going on, Sebastian? There's Mark Jones. Mark Jones, what's going on, man? Hopefully everything's going well, my friend. We got Aaron Click. What's going on? Des has one of the coolest backgrounds. Love the stacks.
Thank you, Davey. It's really just out of pure laziness. I really don't like it because it's not very secure, obviously, because it's DVDs stacked on top of each other. And I have I guess I can do this. I have stuff up top and knickknacks. And so you hit one thing, it's all going down. And there's been streams where stuff has fallen on my head and it hurts. It's a little bit high up there, but I don't have anywhere else to really sit besides my bed. And that's not very fun. So,
hey guys, I have secretly a $5 bet that I'm just waiting one day for all of those stacks just to fall on her.
If I get fucking hurt at all, I'm going to beat your ass. Okay. Even if it's not your fault, just because you said
you didn't do it last year, so I'm going to be hopeful you're just saying it just to say it. Oh, okay, never mind. Nope. Once she does that, look, she's serious. So moving on.
I didn't get drunk enough last year.
So, gosh, let's see here. Damn, Raymond, you've seen 130 movies this year? God mighty. God, way to put me to shame right there. Fuck me. I think I've only seen maybe 15 at best. Which that's going to be easily fixed for the real March Madness coming up for action movies. So I got a lot of them to watch. Chris Snyder, what's going on, man? You're just talking with just talking with others. I was supposed to say talk with yourself. I'm like, no, you're not. But Brooke, my dear Brooke, how are you doing? Who else is here? We got Gavin. What's going on there, Gavin? How are you doing? Let's see here. Brother Fluff says, I made something almost as bad as the Twilight movies. I called it, oh my God. Brother Fluff, he's a blessing. Don't do that.
It's hilarious.
Heather, what's going on there, Heather? I watched the Twilight movies for the first time 2 years ago. They were fine. I really like the lady with the premonitions. Yeah,
Alice.
I believe that's Ashley Green that plays her. Yes.
You know it.
And I forgot. Oh, speaking of which, my local convention in East Tennessee, they actually have a convention where they bring back a good amount of the cast of Twilight. So
yeah, because they're also going to Florida as well. And I was like,
yeah. And that's pissing me off lately because all the good shit's happening in the early stuff in Florida. I was like, come on, can we just save some of them for October? Because
every time I see the dates, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because Catherine Newton just got announced for May. I'm like, just relax. Give us some October ones.
they have Melissa Barrera coming to a convention.
I know
I was
in
like,
April. And I'm like, fucking hell. Like,
that's so crazy. That's awesome, though. I am jealous. I am jealous. But that just gives me hope that October will be good as well. If they're stacking this many, they always have good guests. So there's like, if they don't, obviously we're still going. But
yeah, because we're tackling a bigger thing, Halloween Horror Nights. So like that's what like I'm looking forward to it regardless. But again, I'm like you. I really want a good convention. And yeah, the fly sequence, which that's kind of funny because that'll be one of the movies we talk about today.
yeah. So like, yeah, no. Ugh. It
Yeah.
just makes my bones, I don't know, it makes my skin crawl.
I like that hashtag too. Leave Taylor alone. And there's also another movie out there, guys, called let's see here, Titane. And there you go. So she knows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's see here. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Y'all are just talking away. I see Evil Alex. Evil Alex, what's going on? How are you doing? And let's see here. Y'all are just talking away. Lamantra, I know I did say hi to you. What's going on there, Lamantra? How are you doing? And if I miss anybody, please leave a comment real quick. I officially caught back up with the chat. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. And we're going to go all the way back to 1959 with The House on Haunted Hill, the original movie with the icon himself of Vincent Price, which this is actually the movie Destiny had me watch, because if there's a movie that we haven't watched, we're allowed one movie for the other to watch. She didn't like my first choice, so she went with my second choice, and we will talk about that later of why that is. But the choice that she made for me was House on Haunted Hill, the original, and I like this a lot. I actually got to watch this in color on Amazon. I was surprised that it was available in color. But if I had to redo it, I would have watched it in the original black and white, because I feel like there was just something back, anything like in the 60s or below, just that black and white feel of a movie just adds on to it for its time. Because even though the color grading wasn't that bad, it's kind of where like, yeah, I probably should have gone with the black and white. But overall, the movie, what I did enjoy the movie, even though there was actually one part of it where it did got me like, not like a, oh shit, more like a, oh shit. That's a pretty surprising for a 59 movie. That got me a little bit. But I would probably be on the camp side that I like the original better than the remake from 99. So Destiny, what about you? Have you seen this original movie? Or if so, which one did you like better, the original or the remake?
I have seen this one, have not seen the remake. But this one I think is so good. I'm kind of a little disappointed you watched it in color.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Like, I just saw
It's
the
on
first thing
TV.
is the color.
It was on Tubi.
Oh, I watched it on Amazon. So blame Amazon for having it in color.
Well, yeah, because I've never seen it in color, but I don't care to watch movies. If they came out in black and white, I want to watch it in black and white. But they showed this on the, I believe it was the Elvira's 40th anniversary special, and it was a lot of fun. Pretty cool. I'm pretty sure I know what scene you're talking about, because there is a scene that is like, oh my god. But
yeah, we could mention it. It's like from 59, so it doesn't break the spoiler
was it like the
rules.
jump scare, like with the
lady? Yeah, like as she was knocking on the wall, and all of a sudden she just looks and she just appear out of nowhere. I'm like, oh,
this.
Like,
So yeah, pretty good scene. Overall, I really like the movie. I only seen it that one time. I would like to go back and watch it just because it's a long night, so I'd like to go back and give it its like own time. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I still need to see the remake. I'll watch it at some point.
Yeah, and Chad's a big fan of the remake, so that's why I gave it a watch for him for last year for my 14 new horror watches of May series that I like to do. He gave me that one to watch, and I just thought it was okay. It was definitely a 2000s movie before 2000s became a thing, so I just wasn't too crazy about it. But definitely, I see why the remake borrowed so much from the original, but made it its own thing. So I do appreciate the remake a little more after watching this original movie. But the only little problem I do have with this original movie, I feel like it was unfinished because after the big thing that happens, and then the guy looks at the screen and the door closes, like the movie ends, but the night doesn't end. So I'm just sitting there the whole time, like, well, did anything else happen at that night? Or like, come on, like, what's like? I wanted more out of it because I was having a good time, but I did give it a. I'll double check my letterbox real quick, but I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4 out of 5. Is what I'm feeling. No, I gave it a 3.5 just because I wanted more. If I got that proper ending, I would easily put it in 4 territory.
Understandable.
So I'm just checking the chat here because I saw where Heather says she liked it. It's good. Gave it a 3 out of 5, but I preferred the 99 versions. Okay, so she is a remake person. Evil Alex has not seen the original, so I absolutely say you should. And Sebastian, answer your question real quick. Is technically the sequel to X. Technically, but really it's a trilogy. So just want to just clear that up real quick. See. Oh, okay. And someone answered him in the chat. You guys are awesome. Melissa, what's going on there, Melissa? How are you doing? Hopefully all is well. And see. Oh, and another thing I wanted to bring up too, because obviously, and definitely want to get your take on this. One of these traditional Scooby-Doo episodes actually plays off on the original The House on Haunted Hill with the 2 green ghosts.
Yeah.
So because I was watching and I was like, but damn, Scooby-Doo freaking got this like 10 years after this movie came out. And of course, Scooby-Doo wins because Scooby-Doo always wins. So, but I didn't think he got the money. I think he got like snacks instead, which is so Scooby.
Definitely snacks.
Scooby-Doo. See here. All right, so that's all I got from 59. Don't have anything from the 60s nor the 70s. Is that correct on your end?
Well, actually, I have one from 54 and one from 69.
Oh, shit. Well, go for it.
And the one from 54 is pretty big.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, actually, I had that for next month, but I think I did have saw something from February, so we'll still count it. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, because I looked 2 websites. I found February. Haven't seen it though. Maybe that'll be my movie for next month. Who knows? Sneak peek. It is the one. Like every time we bring up Universal Monsters, this is always the one I'm like, this is not like top of my list. But it's the only one, every time they're streaming, it's never streaming. It'll have all the rest, but not this one. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it'll have the sequel, but not this one. And I want to watch this one. So it looks like it's going to be one of those movies I'll have to just rent to watch because it's never on streaming. And it's pissing me off. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say.
But you are owed a bad movie watch, so I might pick. No, I'm just kidding. No, I almost did this month and almost got my ass kicked. Talk
not
about
after,
almost getting your ass kicked.
Not after Primeval. I never deserve another one.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I didn't know either, but you were saying if you didn't finish it, so I was like, okay, it can't be that bad. And I watched it.
Made my head hurt.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it's that fucking bad. So yeah, okay, no more bad movies for Destiny. So I agree with that. So, and what was the other movie from 69? 1969, just for you crazy people in the chat.
So this is another one I haven't seen, and the only reason I'm even bringing it up is because it gained some like traction. I think it was last year, and it was because of Olivia Rodrigo had a new song coming out called Vampire. Okay. And so it came out, but I remember some of the promotional stuff, the way they had it, it was like the original poster for this movie because it has like a neck and has 2 bite marks and it's like a woman. And so like that's where she got the art for it was from this. And so that's another reason why I mentioned it because I saw the poster for it and I was like, oh my God, that's the movie everyone was talking about. And it's kind of cool to see like this older vampire movie getting like highlighted because of like new popularity for a song. So yeah, haven't seen it. I would like to though.
No, that's awesome. Like that's actually kind of like creative by the artist to go so much far back in time and try to bring it to life because it only benefits the singer, but it also benefits the movie too, for getting traction.
I
So,
agree.
let's see here. I'm just checking out the chat real quick. Let's see here. I just buy films. I just buy films I want to watch. I can never find shit on streaming. What I see. Yeah, and Evil Alex. If this helps you, there's an app, and this is not promotion, by the way. It's called Just Watch, and that is the app I use to try to hunt down movies that are streaming everywhere. So, if that helps you. And Davey asked what that movie was called.
It is called Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. Okay, so you probably can't really see it that. Oh, you can kind of see like the band-aids covering the bite mark. And then in Olivia Rodrigo's, it's purple because like that's her like signature color is purple. So yeah,
Okay.
Dracula Has Risen from the Grave.
Hell yeah. So that's awesome. And there you go, Davey. Let's see here. Good morning, Sleepyhead. Brandon from the West Coast. What's going on there, Brandon? Hopefully all is well. Which, guys, real quickly, a little quick plug. Brandon and Heather have are doing a book, like a YouTube show where they are reading a book for a month, and then it's like a book club kind of a version. And they're having their first show on his channel on Tuesday. So if you are just want to go, more importantly, go support Brandon and Heather, I know they would really appreciate it. So, and Brandon and Heather, if you're still in the chat, what book are you going to be talking about? So we can be sure we can get y'all some traction.
Yeah.
Gavin, do I need to put you in timeout for 5 minutes? For 5 minutes? What the fuck? Even though, good poor name. So there we go. See here. All right, we are good. So let's go ahead and jump into, let's see here, the 80s, which I did miss a big one from 84. So I'm fucking up already, but that's why I have an amazing backup just to put me on the right track. So Destiny, and Gavin's going to be pissed off at me. So Destiny, what is the movie that I completely missed from 84 that absolutely needs to be talked about?
It is Tenebrae, which is a crazy movie like most of these movies are. And this is actually one that I had watched last year. And then it was later in the year, I was like, oh, I'm going to watch Tenebrae. I haven't seen it. And I watched the first 30 minutes of it, and it got to a certain scene. I was like, I've literally seen this. What the fuck? And then I went to my Letterboxd. I just watched it like months before that. And I was like, what? So I like kind of skimmed ahead a little bit just to like be reminded. And even now, I still don't even remember exactly what happens. And I watched it last year. So, I do remember this was one of the movies that my mom walked in on me watching because I was watching it in the morning. And there's a scene on a beach with a naked woman and men. And she walked in and I like paused it. And I literally was like, I'm not watching porn. I'm watching an Italian horror movie, I swear. And she was like, okay. But I was like, hey, I know how it looks. And this is bound to happen at some point. It just happens to be at like fucking 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Of all the freaking days, it's a Sunday.
I know. I was like,
and she's probably like, okay, just keep doing your thing.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with Davey. They're like fever dreams. They really. Did someone just knock on my door? Hello?
Unless there's a ghost.
Anyways.
Oh shit, that's not good.
Yeah. So, it's crazy. It's wild. It's not my favorite Giallo film. Mine is still Deep Red. I still haven't seen enough of them yet, though. Yeah. But it was crazy, like you expect it to be.
Yeah, and I remember that too. Like when we were like, it was an episode of the Joe Bob / Drive-In, and you were like, "Yes, first time ever," and I was legitimately like, and as I saw that tweet, I was like, "Didn't she fucking watch this last month?" Like, and I almost messaged you on it. I was like, "No, I'm just gonna let her have this," and then that's when you came back and realized, "Oh shit, I realized I watched it."
Yeah, and I feel like it happened again. So for some reason, like even though like I really like the 4K like cover for it, and there's like parts of it I do remember, but there's so much that I just don't remember.
Mm-hmm. And well, you're doing a lot better than I did with that movie because it was the second movie that played on last drive-in, and for me, that's like 1 o'clock in the morning here almost, and I fell asleep. So I do need to I do need to watch Tenebrae in full because I hear it's definitely one of the top staples of the gelato, not the Italian ice cream, but the gelato. Or I'm just going to call it Italian horror because I'm not doing a good job with saying that
Giallo?
word. Yeah, Giallo, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Giallo.
So
Not
it's
gelato.
Jello. It's just Jello, but add a G into it.
Like add an owl. Giallo. Giallo.
Woo.
Giallo.
Okay.
Say
Giallo.
Giallo. That's how I say it.
Giallo.
Giallo.
Okay. It's just kind of like saying cool hip.
Not at all. No.
Okay, well, shit, I tried. But anyways, I'm going to watch Tenebrae because I know it's definitely one of the staples of Italian horror, or as I learned today, called Giallo. So, yes. God. Yeah, we got to have freaking Giallo shots. So I definitely agree. I might speak better if I did. So, now, Chris, don't get me fucking started. I saw that tweet from a wrestler the other day, and it brought back bad memories 2 years ago. We are not having it today. We are not having it today. But and was that it for 84?
Yep, that's all I had.
Great. Okay. And so let's go ahead and go to 89 here. And the one I found was called The Fly 2. But I have not seen The Fly 2, but I definitely seen the original. So I'd actually need your help from the chat. If you all have seen Fly 2, is it worth checking out? Does it follow the standard sequel like blueprint of like just doing twice everything that the original did? Just let me know. But Desi, have you seen The Fly 2, or do you have any interest if you have not seen it?
No, and really no. Mainly because I haven't heard great things about it, and yeah, it's just not. There's so many other movies I need to watch that's not really up there. Maybe like way down the line, but not right now.
Or you're scared they're going to do a Never Seen?
They probably will. Who freaking knows? I've seen worse though. I know Gavin earlier said, talking about the movie Inside. Gavin, I did watch Inside. Actually, I made Braden watch Inside without even telling him what movie that was, and like I don't even think I told him it was like a French like extremist film either. I was just like, let's watch this movie Inside, let's just watch it. And then things start happening. If you've seen it, he's like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, I don't even know. I hadn't seen it, but I did know what was going to happen. I did know that part.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's like way off topic, but
no, hey, we're all about off topics and on topics here. So
yeah,
but no, it's just funny how you torture Braden watching random movies. So
yeah, and that was one I was like, it's gonna be hard for me to watch it, but I wanted to watch it, and it was streaming finally, and I was like, and I tried to watch that one before, and I made it like 5 minutes, and I was like, I can't do it today. Like, there's no way I can watch this today. But then that night, I was feeling ballsy, and I was like, if I'm going down, he's going down with me, or we're gonna watch this fucked up movie. And it was fucked up. It was really gross.
That's funny. It's like, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. Well,
yeah.
Why? Well, I think you know
Everyone
why.
Should watch it. Watch Inside if you're feeling crazy.
So, I'm seeing from the chat about Rosie says Fly 2 has great practical effects, which that's good. I'm always a fan of practical effects. Raymond has not seen it. Mark Jones says, I just watched The Fly 2, fell asleep. So that's not a good sign. Danner, but Banner, I saw you in there. What's going on there, Danner? I just mentioned Austria, so Danner always shows up. And then Ashton says, I've seen The Fly, but not The Fly 2, which that's pretty much with me as well. Let's see here. So other than that, I'll add it to the list, but I'm not going to like be in a rush for it. So I'll just add it to the list. Let's see here. Make Braden watch the second August Underground movie without telling him what it is and record his reaction.
All right. I don't know what it is, so I will look at it myself, so I'm prepared, because it sounds pretty bad if you're recommending it to me. Maybe I will. Brandon, I see your comment. The movie Soft and Quiet. I've not seen it, but I've heard so many people talk about it. And like a part of me wants to watch it, but a part of me is like, I don't know if I want to watch that because everything I've heard about it has just been like, not like it's a bad movie or anything, but it's just like you feel terrible. Like it is not a feel good movie. At the end of it, you're just like, what the fuck? And a part of me is curious, but the other part of me is like, maybe I shouldn't. I shouldn't watch that.
Or hopefully that Dead Meat comes out with a kill count for it.
Yeah, and I don't even know. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. And Snyder says, if it doesn't have a dinosaur dialing a number on a payphone, I'm not interested. Chris has Tammy and the T-Rex movie still on his mind from his show this past Friday with My Beautiful Goddess of Denise Richards. Love her.
I just rewatched that actually the other day because that was a movie that I wanted Braden and I to watch and we didn't get to. But when he left, I was like, I'm gonna watch it because I still wanted to watch it, and it's so much fun. It's such like, it's just hilarious. It's insane, and it's so short too.
Yeah, and that's why I like what I've been watching lately are short movies, and I just appreciate the 90-minute runtime. But yes, I definitely am going to watch it. I might watch it today if I have a little free time, but mainly I'm watching it because my girl Denise Richards is in it. But everything else, I have zero clue what's going to happen, so I'm just going to go in blind.
You haven't seen it before?
Nope. I know, shame on me. Any Denise Richards movie I don't see, I always curse myself, so...
Yeah. It's fun.
Something. That's all I hear. It's just it's something, but to be experienced. So definitely am going to add it to the list here. And that is the one I found from 89, but you did correct me, and there was one more from 89.
I actually have two more from 89.
Oh, then go for it.
I'll do the one. I haven't seen either of them, but one of them is definitely bigger than the other one. So the first one is The Toxic Avenger Part 2.
Okay.
I've only seen the first one, and I honestly wasn't even really a big fan of that. And so I don't really have any interest in continuing because I think there's 3, maybe 4, but I'm pretty sure there's 3, and we're getting a new one, which I will see the new one, though. I'm very interested about that. Like, the cast has me very curious. The first movie, though, it's like a trauma film, and those are hit or miss for me. They're a little bit too sleazy for my taste. Like, I like Italian sleazy horror, but I don't like American sleazy, like, I don't know. Some of it's very hit or miss for me, and this one is just very sleazy, because a lot of their movies are. So, it's not my favorite. There's, like, a lot of bad shit. Like, it's even more fucked up than I was thinking about this movie that I know, like, if you've seen the cover, has, like, this, like, almost, he looks humanoid, but it's a person that was turned into this with a mop, and he has, like, a tutu. You're like, oh, that's so silly, funny. They are running down kids. Like, they are running kids over. And it is brutal, and it is fucked up. And I was like, oh, my God. And so it's like going everywhere with like how scummy these people are. And when you have so many of your characters that are all scummy, it's like, it's just not fun because they're not fun scummy. Like, they're just bad.
Or it's just like, who's the good guy? Or it's like, is there a protagonist in this movie?
I mean, Toxie, and Toxie's girlfriend. And there's some good people that live in the town, like whatever. But overall, like, they care, and he's killing them off. He's doing a good thing, and I do like that part of the movie. But it's just not. They're just not my kind of movies. But I do want to see the new one. I just don't care to see really past the first Toxic Avenger. It just wasn't my favorite. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm definitely interested in the remake. I still gotta watch the original, but yeah, I'm kind of like you, though. I could just tell that there's just some franchises where just watching the first one, that's enough.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. The other one, though, that is more well-known and probably more liked is...
And Mel from My Killer Podcast is going... you think you're going to kick my ass? She is definitely going to kick my fucking ass because she adores this movie more than anybody I've ever known.
And I've never seen it.
Sorry.
It's The Burbs. Tom Hanks. And I think it might still be on Netflix. I know it was streaming on Netflix a while ago. And it's still one I haven't gotten around to, but I do want to watch it. It's just every time I see it, I'm like, I'm not really in the mood to watch it, but it's on my watch list. And I've heard great things. I've heard it's fun. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
I've
curious to check
heard.
it out.
Yeah, I've heard plenty of reviews from Mail talking about how great The Burbs is, especially with Tom Hanks being in sort of in a horror movie has my interest because that's usually a realm that he doesn't dive into with a lot of his films. So I am definitely interested. And Chris is calling The Burbs a masterpiece, one of Joe Dante's best. Oh, so Joe Dante was the director of this movie. Okay, so that's a big like. Okay, it's moving up the list. So there we go. And it
And it
is.
still is on Netflix right now.
Oh, excellent. And Heather's saying The Burbs is fantastic. And let's see here. Where did I? Oh, Mark Jones loves The Burbs. So, okay, we're moving it up there. And then Evil Alex says more comedy than horror. So, but
That's
you
fine.
know what? That could work, folks. So I'm interested. So, okay, we'll add The Burbs. And Mel, if you're watching this at some point, I'm sorry. So let's see here. All right. Just catching up with the chat. Was that it for the 80s?
Yes.
Awesome. And let's see here. Raymond, you asked about how long The Fly 2 was in the chat. I got 105 minutes according to Letterboxd.
See, that's too long. That is too long for a movie that already doesn't sound great. That is too long. And like, if I know a movie's not great, except for whenever I watch Bloodhook, which was last month, which again, no 80s slasher, no low budget, less than B movie, fucking D movie slasher. Director's cut needs to be 2 hours long. It does not. I don't care. It does not. And especially this movie, which that one got to the point I was skipping. But when you hear like a runtime like that with a movie that already is just like not,
it just doesn't need to be made.
Great. It's just like, man, I don't know if I want to dish out the time for something I'm not probably gonna like.
Yeah, and that is actually my fear for Friday when I go see Dune 2 because it has a runtime of 2 hours and 45 minutes.
See, I say that I watched Oppenheimer though, and I loved Oppenheimer.
Yeah, that's
that
different.
Didn't even feel like 3 hours long, so it can be like, whoa. Like I think Lisa Frankenstein could have been 2 hours. Use alcohol, yeah, I will have to. But like, there are movies that are, I think, too short. But then there are so many movies I'm like, that's way too long. You don't need that much time. But like Lisa Frankenstein, I was like, that could have been 20 minutes longer because I feel like we needed more
20
story.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It needed 20 minutes longer. So let me check the chat real quick. Evil Alex says Tom Hanks. Oh, actually, I don't want to know just yet because we haven't seen the movie. But no, you just talk amongst yourself. You're good to go. You're good. So let's see here. Snyder says Corey Feldman and Carrie Fisher are in it too. Oh, hell yeah, they're in it. And that should be a very great time as well. So definitely adding The Burbs higher up to the list. All good? Then Mud says Toxie is a New Jersey superhero, so I have to respect him a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get you around the area of New Jersey. So there we go. Let's see here. All right. And that was it for 89, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and dive into 94. And I do have two from 94. So we'll talk about this one first before we talk about the one I assigned you to. Have you seen this movie called Body Snatchers? Because to me, this has some Invasion of the Body Snatchers written all over it.
I have not seen that one, but I feel like whenever I posted about Invasion of the Body Snatchers, a lot of people talked about that one as well, because I remember people mentioning like sort of like a 90s remake, but I have not seen that one.
Yeah, I have not seen it either, but that was just when I saw the poster and how it looked, that's immediately what I thought of. So I was like, no, I'll probably just stick to the ones that of the remake from the 70s that I feel like we haven't talked. It's been trying to think here. Was that December or January? Where it wasn't that long ago since we talked about it.
I think it was January.
Yeah, I'm thinking January too. So that's kind of funny how a month later that it still comes back. So damn it, leave us alone, aliens. So Body Snatchers 94. If you're interested, it has an anniversary this month. And then the next movie, I was interested in this movie as for myself, but I didn't want to watch it just yet. But I saw Destiny didn't watch it, and so this is the movie I picked for Destiny to watch. It's popular within the horror community, and that is called In the Mouth of Madness. Was released on February the 3rd of 1994, which the critics don't really agree, but the audience, from what I see for the most part, absolutely says, screw the critics. You better watch this movie because it's a really good time. So, Destiny, this is the movie I picked for you. This is your first time watch. What did you think about this movie, and how do you rate it?
Yeah, first time watch. I thought it was great. I thought it was creepy. There are definitely some moments that I found myself to be like, "Oh my god, it's a little scary." I'd seen there's the when he's in the movie theater. I had seen like pictures of that scene before because I feel like that's pretty like iconic. Surprised that it's like at the very fucking end of the movie though. I was like, "Damn, where's this scene at?" And then they're like, "The movie comes out next month." I was like, we're getting closer to the movie scene. All right. But I thought it was great. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was a John Carpenter movie I had not seen before. So I was happy to finally, watch it. Very meta. And actually, funny enough, whenever I started it yesterday, the opening song or like music, I was like, that fucking sounds like Metallica. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Weird. Didn't think anything of it. Then I was listening to the Pod Mortem episode because I finished the movie. I was like, well, now I get to listen to the episode. I started it, and they were saying the same thing, and I was like, oh my god, that's crazy they thought that. But it's because originally John Carpenter wanted Enter Sandman by Metallica, and they were very stingy about letting people use their music. And so he's like, fuck it, I'll make it myself then. And he did. They did. And I was like, that is so cool because I was genuinely like, that sounds like Metallica. And they wanted it to be, so nailed it. Nailed the vibe. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was trippy. It was crazy. Super meta. I definitely recommend people to watch it if they haven't seen it. I know I'm very behind on it, though. But I don't feel like it's talked about super often, so. And it's Lovecraftian. People, H.P. Lovecraft. It's very Lovecraftian, cosmic horror, weird, psychological, strange. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right up your alley too. When when it dives into that particular category of horror, so hell yeah! So I'm glad I got to pick another great movie for you, and that's all I hear about. Chester gives it a 10 out of 10, and I've been seeing a lot of people too giving it a great praise. And did you say that it was it was trying to use Enter the Sandman?
Yeah, they wanted Enter Sandman as
Damn.
The opening credits.
That's the opening. Damn, because that would have been badass because quick fantasy football story. That is actually the song I listen to before 1 o'clock happens every Sunday before NFL kicks off. It gets me pumped for the day. I always listen to Enter the Sandman. So I thought that was pretty cool how you mentioned it there. So I wish they will let some of the music people share their music because that's technically free promoting, if you ask me. Kind of like same thing with YouTube being like, just let us do trailer reactions because it's free promoting.
Yeah.
So just wanted to double check the chat real quick. I think we are good. Oh, actually, someone said in the chat that it's Raymond said, I love Body Snatchers, best out of all of them. Okay, that's big words because those 2 movies were really good. So I will definitely now officially add it to the watch list for Body Snatchers because you got me interested. And then right there, Raymond. So and someone also said that pretty much the true remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers is The Faculty. I saw that in the chat too.
Yeah.
So let's see. All right. Was that it for 94?
I have When a Stranger Calls Back from 94.
Oh, okay.
Haven't seen it. It's a sequel to When a Stranger Calls. Haven't seen that one either. I have seen the first 20 minutes, which I know everyone says is like the best part of the movie. But I haven't really seen it though. But I thought I'd mention it.
And have you seen the remake for When a Stranger Calls? And did you out of quick curiosity, did you like it?
I do like it. It's a little bit slow. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
anything to run home about. It's not. But it was one that I watched a lot as a kid without knowing it was a remake. So there's like nostalgia for that one because I was super young
Mm-hmm.
because I was 2006 and I watched it maybe like a couple years after it came out. So I was super young, but I always remembered the inside track that she's running inside because like
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a track on the inside that's like a 2-story type thing, and the house is insane. So like those are the parts I really remembered of the movie were like the sets, but I do like the remake.
Yeah, the remake I really enjoy too. Even though a lot of people do not like the remake, which I get it, but because they're trying to make a 20-minute like scene from the original into a full length feature movie, and I thought they did a really solid job. But I agree with you, Fo. It is way too slow paced when it didn't need to be. But I did like the main girl in the movie too. I know a lot of people shit on her too, but I thought she did a good job. Of course, we all know what happens with Katie Cassidy in those type of movies.
Oh yeah, and it's crazy that was her. Because obviously, at the time, I had no idea who that was at all. And then I rewatched it like whenever it snowed here really bad because there's a hard freeze, and so I was like stuck inside
Mm-hmm.
watching movies. And I watched it then, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's Katie Cassidy!" I had no idea at the time that she was in this, so that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. And so let's see here. And those were the that was the extra you threw in for 94, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. So let's go ahead and go to 99 because this is the one I did caught at the last minute, like very early on in the week, because I saw somebody post this on social medias. And I'm like, this movie looks fun, but I didn't think it was horror. But I did some double checking. People do consider this horror. So you know what? Let's talk about it. And I know you know this movie well too, Destiny, and that is Jawbreaker. That was released on February the 19th of 99. Not great scores all around, but definitely it has its fans. And if you're curious about this, this is available to rent for $3.59 on Amazon Prime, which I did remember at one point this was on Shudder, but I guess Shudder lost the rights to it. So, but Destiny, what do you think about this classic 90s movie of Jawbreaker?
I love Jawbreaker. And that was when I was watching very young at my dad's house. Like my stepmom would show me. She also showed me actually the remake for When a Stranger Calls. That's whose house I was out watching. But she loved Jawbreaker, so she would show me and my siblings it, and then I grew up to love Jawbreaker. I agree, Jawbreaker over Heather's, which Heather's I don't really have nostalgia for. I only watched it a couple of years ago for the first time. I grew up watching Jawbreaker. The cast is amazing. The outfits are wonderful. The songs, so great. The opening is so good because you're like, what the fuck is going on? And it's her friends, and they're just pulling a prank and they accidentally kill her. And then you have Fern Mayo that comes in. You have Judy Greer looking
Mm-hmm.
scary at first, but you have Fern Mayo who then turns into Violet. Has this whole you have a makeover scene. It's just like it's so good. I love these type of movies that lean more towards like girly, but with like all this like fucked up stuff happening, and it has like friendship. It's like Jennifer's Body in a way where there's like friendship dynamics being talked about, and they're popular. Yeah, it is Mean Girls before Mean Girls, but it's like Mean
Mm-hmm.
Girls if they were murderers, not just mean bitchy girls. But these are like this is like beyond mean. It is like Heather's level, but it's playful. But with Heather's, it doesn't feel like what they're doing is real in a way. But in Jawbreaker, it's like you see this. I did, yeah, I did. I wanted Peachy fucking Keen as a tattoo. I never got it. Still could, but
Hey, there's still time.
there's still time. I love this movie so much. I haven't seen it in a while, and now if you try to buy it from Amazon, there are no Blu-rays. So I regret not getting a Blu-ray when they were available. Um, but yeah, it's a great movie, and it makes you look at Jawbreaker Candy differently.
Oh yeah.
Honestly. Oh, and it has a small appearance of Lori Foreman from That 70s Show in it. Very short, but she is in it for a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm trying to
And
think
Marilyn
here.
Manson.
Trying to think. Do you have the VHS of it? I know you said Blu-ray. You do that they ran or they quit producing them, but do you have the VHS of it?
No, I don't have anything Jawbreaker. And I would have thought like by now I would find like a DVD at Goodwill because I always find movies like of that vein almost at Goodwill. Haven't found it.
Damn.
But I'll find it.
Yeah,
I'm going to.
On the case. And Chad, what's going on? I've been pulling up your comments, but just wanted to give you a proper what's up. And yes, Chris stole pretty much the line I was going to use was that I was like, yeah, this is definitely the Mean Girls before it was Mean Girls. But like you said as well, but they are complete psychopathful accidental killers. Which first off, that opening scene, like the actual practical effect of seeing the jawbreaker in the throats, that still disturbs me to this day. And I think actually that was the day I think I've had my last jawbreaker.
Yeah, because like especially that one they put in her mouth, it's huge. It's not like a small. Because like now you can still get big ones, but now like a lot of the jawbreakers are like smaller sized. But this is a huge jawbreaker they put in her mouth, which she then chokes on, and it transfers. So she has like her throat is protruding out, and you can just see it there.
And Heather's on the case for you as well.
Thank you, Heather. Let me know, because apparently no one wants to give their jawbreaker copy to my Goodwill, so I can have. And I think it's rude because I want the movie.
Yeah, and last quick question about jawbreakers. For some reason, this movie makes me think. Chris, reading my fucking mind, dude. I'm telling you, we're gonna have a talk afterwards because I was legitimately about to bring up Ed, and Eddie because it's like I can't even watch that show the same because it's not here, it's more here. Out realistically.
And I loved Ed, and Eddie as a
doesn't?
kid. And I would think about that though whenever I would watch the movie is think about Jawbreaker or watch the show is watch Jawbreaker and be like, oh my God, it's the same candy. And they love those things. That's all they want to buy are these Jawbreaker candies.
God, especially like even freaking Ed just fucking betrays his whole friends just because there was that one episode where Jawbreakers are for free and he legitimately just treats his friend like absolute shit. So in a way, that was kind of like a Jawbreaker feel kind of episode. So damn. But no, I thought that was funny. Let's see here. Which is better, Jawbreaker the band or Jawbreaker the movie? I didn't even know it was a band.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
So, but I'm gonna go with so for that purpose, I'm gonna say movie. And Chris says butter toast, by the way. Butter toast. So, oh my God. Oh man. Frank, you're lucky rules are rules on the channel. $10 super chat. Frank says you just gotta say Scream sucks. Enjoy your Sunday knowing that. Fucking hell, Frank. Dadgum you. So but you know what, Fo? Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. That's very kind of you. So I will play a super chat for you that makes fun of Scream. That just kind of helps you out there. So here you go, Frank. $10 super chat.
Well, shit, he may have some money. We already committed murder. We might as well rob his ass.
I'll take the credit cards.
I want the jewelry.
I'm gonna take his drawers.
So thank you so much, Frank. But unfortunately, Scream does not suck. Scream is definitely one of the horror staples of all time. But thank you so much for the $10 super chat. So let's see here. And that is all I found from 99. Did you have another one?
Nope.
Excellent. So we are in the 2000s, and I didn't have anything from 2004. Is that true for you as well?
I do have one movie. Have not seen it. It is Club Dread. I hear this come up from time to time. And I'll watch it at some point.
And watch that at some point. But again, horror movies deserve to get their flowers as well. So Club movie, there is your roses too. I'm not sure if Rosie wouldn't mind sharing a rose with that movie. So there you go. And that was it from 04, correct?
Yeah.
Alrighty, because now, for a lot of people, I would consider for the people in the chat, this is their main event topic of the day. And that is going to be Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not that one, but I'll mention it first. His name was Jason, 30 years of Friday the 13th. This is a documentary going over the entire franchise at this point of Friday the 13th, and they released this the same day as the next movie we'll talk about. But before we talk about that movie, Destiny, have you seen this particular documentary of Friday the 13th? And if you have, which one is better, this one or Crystal Lake Memories?
I haven't seen this one, so I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
I
I do
haven't
like
seen it either.
the other one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either, but I've seen Brad has the DVD of His Name Was Jason, so I've always been curious. But yeah, definitely Crystal Lake Memories is the beyond the best one. And I didn't move from my couch for 7 to 8 hours. That's the duration of that entire documentary. Because I think it's one of the best documentaries out there. So if you're a Friday the 13th fan, if you want to check out His Name Was Jason, go for it. But we are always going to suggest the Crystal Lake Memories. So that'll be the transition to talk about the big one here. Friday the 13th, the remake that came out in 2009. I would probably say, in my personal opinion, this is the most debated movie in the Friday the 13th franchise. That's just my opinion. I know there are a lot of movies within the franchise that are so debatable, like one on Facebook on Killflix recently for Jason Takes Manhattan, because Manhattan is trying to get a cult following as of late, which hopefully it does because it deserves it. But the remake, though, it definitely is split 50-50 with its people who absolutely love the movie and people who absolutely hate the movie. And if you know me, I fucking love this movie. That's my Derek Mears signed mask right there. I absolutely love this movie because I'm not talking about just the first 20 minutes that everybody gushes over, which, trust me, if it was just 20 minutes for that scene, it would have been the perfect Friday the 13th movie of all time. But we still have more of it, and I did enjoy all that. The asshole Trent that got what he deserved at the end, which I thought a lot of people don't like that character. I actually like the character. I think it has one of my favorite Friday the 13th girls in it, Brie. She's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm kind of like, with that one guy, I like to be the pin of her skirt button. And also, shooting the boot was the first time I got to witness of shooting the boot is actually a thing. But other than that, though, I do love this particular movie. I do have it in my top 6 of Friday the 13th movies. But what about you, Destiny? What do you feel about the remake?
I love the remake. It's one of my favorite remakes, probably in my top 3. And I think it's my 4th, maybe 3rd favorite in the franchise. So I love it. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. So let me check the comments real quick. And wasn't there one particular scene too as well? I think there was one scene you always talk about with this movie, with the sheriff.
The sheriff?
Yeah, where he got killed with the eye poke.
Oh yeah, the effects. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, because I thought the effects in this movie were really good as well.
I agree. I think the effects are done very well in this movie. I really like them a lot.
Mm-hmm. And Brooke says the movie's stupendous, which which I agree, Brooke. It's so juicy, and yeah, just a whole lot of things you can say about that particular scene. But the movie overall is absolutely stupendous. And Chester prefers the remake over the original. Are you in that camp?
Yeah, but I have the original just behind it, so it's not like it's not one and then the other. Here's the remake, original's right here, and I would say I watched the original more though than the remake.
Mm-hmm. And I do too. And I'm actually on the side that the original is better than the remake. Just because the original is just like an original story. I understand it doesn't have Jason in it, but just the whole we created the legend that is Jason. It had to start from somewhere, and it started with the original. And I definitely think the original is definitely well more done. It's just Friday the 13th remake. All it did was just hey, we're just going to give you the basic blueprint of what a Friday the 13th movie is, and it does do it to stupendous perfection. But I still give all the credit in the world that it starts from somewhere, and it starts from the original.
Yeah, I like the original. It's slow, but
Yeah,
it's
like
comfortable.
it doesn't age well either, but like I still think it's freaking great. I can't remember what I give it, but I gotta look back. It's been a while. Let's see here. Just oh yeah, I like the tunnel system he has. Explains how quick he moves from spot to spot. And yeah, not only that, I love this particular Jason as well for the fact that he was more treated like a hunter. And I feel like with Jason being all alone in the yeah, hey, there we go. With all the kind of like being in the forest all by himself. That he had to develop to be a hunter. So I think that's actually a very realistic approach to the Jason Voorhees character.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So good point there, Alex, with the tunnels. And then let's see here. I think that's all. They're all just Heather also says remake over the original. So we got definitely remakes over the original. So that's awesome. So okay, and that is all I have from '09. Did you have anything else from '09?
Nope, that was it.
Awesome. So I didn't have anything from 2014. Did you have something from 2014?
No.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and go into 2019 here. And the first movie I have here is a little movie called The Prodigy. And the only reason I remember this movie is because it was marketed like crazy on the USA Network. Every time I was watching Monday Night Raw in between commercials, they love to play the hell out of this movie, like just like the trailer and everything. And I've not seen this movie, but honestly I really don't care to see this movie. I just mainly remembered it from the commercials. So have you heard about The Prodigy?
Yeah, I saw the cover for it. It's Little Boy from It. I just
Wait, is it?
Yeah, it's Georgie.
Oh my god, that is fucking Georgie. Holy shit. Because I could just tell by the hair.
Yeah, so I saw it like marketed a lot, but I don't.
But I haven't seen the movie.
No, and I'm not really in a rush to see it.
So, Gavin, actually, you made it just in time back because I know Gavin knows this movie all too well, just like Destiny knows this movie all too well. Because the next movie we're going to talk about is The Lords of Chaos. So Lords of Chaos was released on February the 8th of 2019. And if you want to find this movie, this is available for $3.99 on Amazon Prime. I have not seen this movie, but Destiny, I know you have. So what did you think about The Lords of Salem? Or not The Lords of Salem, The Lords of Chaos. Why in the world did I put on my notes Lords of Salem? So Lords of Chaos, what did you think about it?
So like as a movie, I really enjoyed this. I am not in like the black metal community or like Norwegian black metal. I have no idea. I had no idea about the band itself really before starting this, but people give this movie shit for like not being fully real, which to be fair, in the beginning, they do say like this is not fully accurate. No comment. Yeah, did I watch this movie because someone specifically was in it? Sure. Absolutely, I did. And it's the person on the cover. So I did watch it, and I really enjoyed it as a movie. Of course, like when you talk about this movie, the people that are fans of that music will let you know that this is not how it happened. And I'm like, I get it. But also, I watched it as a movie itself, but I get it. Real shit did happen. Like, fucked up stuff did happen. Someone did die. You know, that is important. Don't gloss just over that. But as a movie, they do say not everything is accurate. Some of it is made up for a movie. And, yeah, like, some of it is a hard watch. And it is pretty, like, rough. And then towards the end, they do not shy away from anything. It is so realistic, and like that's what makes it so hard to watch, and it's painful to watch, and it hurts because there's some stabbing going on, and you feel every stab, and it sucks. But I really enjoyed it. Like as a movie, like I said, I enjoyed the movie a lot. It's just not one that I could always watch because it is very like heavy, and it's not very nice, and they're doing bad stuff, and then even worse start like. It's just just goes down.
Yeah, and that's why I've been hearing about this movie too. So I usually just tend to wait to stay away from it, but I'm sure eventually I will come across this movie. So when that day happens, I'll let you know what I think of it. But I don't see it coming soon at any time for me personally. But I have heard about this movie that it is indeed a tough watch. And
Yeah.
Gavin says a true edgelords.
Yeah.
So then everyone else saying hard watch, good movie. So if it's a good movie, I'll definitely add it to the watch list. But again, just gonna take time. And then when it gets here, it gets here. So the next movie I have here is another sequel for today. So that is going to be Happy Death Day to You. Was released on February 13th of 2019. Pretty solid scores here all around. The memory that I have of this movie is that me and Brad actually, when he was still living in the same town that I was at the time, we were curious about this movie, so we gave it a watch. So we went to go see this movie, and we thought it was okay for a sequel. I felt like it was a sequel that wasn't necessarily needed because I felt like the story was complete within the first one, but it was still a good time. Like you could tell everybody was having a fun time. We get to see more of the babyface killer. We get to see more of Tree and her still going through some of her stuff, like her past demons, which I guess if that's the one positive of this movie is her, that particular story of her facing her past demons so she can move forward on with her life. But other than that, though, I just thought this movie was fine. Definitely not better than the past one. So what do you think, Destiny? Do you like this movie at all?
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I like the first one more than this one, but because I watched this one for Fear Freaks, and it was my first time watching it. And I had heard people's criticisms, it's definitely more sci-fi. It leans away from the slasher, even though that's included, but it's more sci-fi than anything at this point. But I really enjoyed it. Like, seeing everyone's, like, criticisms and everyone saying, like, oh, the first one's so much better. I was like, okay, like, whatever. Maybe because my expectations were lowered. I enjoyed this one a lot. Like, I gave this one a 4 out of 5. And I think I might give Happy Death Day 4.5 out of 5. But, well, this one I enjoyed it so much, and I was like, okay, like that was a lot better than I was expecting it from other people's like reactions to it, and I had already seen the kill count for it, so I kind of I knew what was going to happen, whatever. But I was like, okay, that was so much better than what I really thought it was going to be, and I just love the character of Tree. You have her in there, like I'm entertained, and the characters that you see from the first one, they're still involved in the story in this one, and they're more likable than they are in the first one. So and they get into some fun antics, and I enjoyed all those scenes. I thought it was funny. There's parts where I remember watching this at work because we're super slow, and I needed to watch it for the show. And I was sitting there laughing my ass off just at work, standing there on my phone, just enjoying my time. And I cried a little bit, like I usually do with movies like these, because it's very sweet. So yeah, and I like that there's a lot that's introduced in the first one that comes back around in the second one. And it just shows, Tree, her character is still growing from like, especially the first one to the end of that one. Right. And the choices she has to make in this one. So I really like it. Like, if you give me these characters that I already liked so much, this story itself, like, I'm watching them, like what else is happening? As long as it's serviceable and I'm having a good time, I don't really care. I like the characters, and so I'm watching the characters. Whatever else they're doing, fine. But I really enjoyed the story. I like that it was more sci-fi, because usually I'm not even a huge sci-fi person, but I really liked it.
Nice. And like especially like the one scene that makes me chuckle every time is when the I can't remember the character's name, but it's the frat girl that is the head of the house, at the beginning.
Yeah, I can't remember her name either. I feel like it maybe starts with a D, or I'm completely wrong. But I know who you're talking about. That's who I was mainly talking about, because she's hilarious in this one.
Oh yeah, especially when she has to play a blind lady, which I
Yeah.
thought that was absolutely hilarious. But so I agree with you there that a lot of the characters that you were iffy about from the first one are more enjoyable in this one. But I think it's again the sci-fi-ness of this movie is what really took it away from me. Brandon is saying Danielle.
I think it is. I'm looking it up. That does sound right, though.
Yeah, so
It is
I could
Danielle.
see her. Yeah, so I could see her as a Danielle. So, but yeah, but the sci-fi stuff, I guess that's what really took it out of it away from me because I don't think it was necessarily necessary. You could have just done a different day, and you could have had her new boyfriend be a part of like maybe they do it together, tackle it together, like do something like that. But just to do the exact same day stuff again, it's just like okay, but we've seen it. It's the story, but they do change it around. So I guess that's what makes it interesting. So it's just that was my only takeaway. It's just a sci-fi, but everything else, it's still a fun movie, and I still have a good time with it. I think I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. But I want to go back to this comment. Let's see here about teasing the third one because there are the rumblings, of course, of them doing a third one, or really in kind of like a crossover between this one and Freaky. Which again, I'm down for it. I think it's a perfect actual mix that can really cause some, or pretty much create some good magic. So, are you interested in the idea?
Yeah, I think that would be so much fun. I would like to see either, like you said, the third installment or a crossover, whether it be the same thing, I'm fine with. I just want to see more. They hinted at, they've been talking about for so long. Come on, we're waiting.
Where is it? And then let's see here. And my last comment about the movie is mainly just the actress of Jessica Roth because again, love her. Which I'm not sure if you saw the trailer yet. Have you seen the trailer with Bill Skarsgård? I believe the movie is called Boys in the World.
I've not seen the trailer. I know it just came out. I saw people posting clips because I do want to see the movie. And I'm trying, unless I'm at the theater, and unless it has Joseph Quinn, because I'm watching that right away. Or unless I'm watching the Super Bowl. But I'm trying to stay away from trailers as much as possible, unless there are times when I can't avoid it. Like some people walk out of the movie theaters for trailers. I don't want to do that. I'm lazy. If I'm sitting there, my feet already plopped up. So I saw some trailers for that, which they didn't even show that many, but I'm trying to stay away. Or if Braden sends me a trailer, I'll watch maybe 30 seconds of it, and then I say okay, I don't want to see the rest because I'm tired of all the best moments being spoiled for me in the trailers. So I'm trying, and some of it does pain me because I'm very I want to see, but unless it has Joseph Quinn, then I'm trying to refrain a little bit.
Well,
if he's in it though, as soon as it drops, I'm waiting.
Okay, well, this one does not have Joseph Quinn, so you could go ahead and stay away.
But it has Bill Skarsgård.
But it does have Bill Skarsgård in it, and it definitely is a action comedy. So it is going to be a fun time. And I know Jessica, I always ask the question, where the hell's Jessica Roth at? She is in this movie. So, and you can just tell everybody's having fun. So I'm looking forward to watching it. But I don't blame you, though, with not watching as much trailers anymore because of the good stuff given away. Because I was like that with Scream 6. Literally, this is how I watch every Scream trailer in the theater. And everybody around me is like, what in the hell is this asshole doing? I'm like, well, because I'm like you, I don't want to get up either just to leave because I always miss time the trailer. I actually did that one time. I didn't want to watch the trailer, so I walked out and I came back and I saw the last 10 seconds of the trailer. I'm like, fuck. So I was just like, I'm just gonna do that and we're gonna be good. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I know that movie is coming out in April and my birthday month is stacked with movies. So I'm going to be what we call entertained for the month of April when it comes to movies, especially in horror movies too. So excellent month for me. So I'm excited. So, Gauze, what's going on, man? How are you doing? He had a question for us real quick before we enter the last year. BrettMan and Des, do you have any plans to go and watch the new movie Stop Motion? And you are the second person, if I brought this to my attention, my good buddy Jason Smith from Sinister Cinema Reviews brought this to my attention as well. And I need to see if my theater is showing this because I've been hearing rumblings about this movie. Have you heard rumblings, Destiny?
I keep seeing this movie like everywhere, like posts.
Because I don't even know what it's about.
Me either. I've seen the poster for it because it's like a face with like a caved in part with like something else.
Oh.
And I have no idea what the movie is about, but I just see everyone talking about it. So like, am I gonna like rush out and go see it? Probably not. But if it comes on streaming, I will. Because I'm just curious about it, just from being so just confused as to what it is. I'll watch it eventually, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And plus, I'm like weird right now because I feel like I should be going to the theater more. And I feel like I've only been twice this year, and it's been 2 months. So it's just like, where are all the movies at? Even though Lisa Frankenstein, that was a good time, and so maybe one movie in January. But other than that, I feel like I was just like, where the fuck are the movies at right now? So I'm not sure if I'm the only one feeling that.
I think I've only been to the theaters once. And it was for Lisa Frankenstein. I don't think I went at all in January. I was supposed to see Mean Girls, but we didn't have time.
Oh, well, that's available on stream, or it's available to rent now. But you know how those rent movies are, $20, and
$20.
I would just say, I would just say honestly, you just wait for that one.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Yeah, so there's
really
no rush on that one.
But I don't want to spend $20. I will wait because it'll be on probably like Paramount. The other one, Mean Girls, the first movie is on Paramount.
Oh, okay, then it'll go
be added somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be on Paramount soon. And yes, he still wants his pink shirt back. That's all I'll tell you. So,
we all do.
But let's see here. All right, that is it for 2019. Did you have anything else from 2019?
No.
Excellent. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and dive in our last month here, and that is from last year, from 2023. And I'm going to save the best movie for last, so we'll go ahead and talk about the worst movie. This is the movie I wanted Destiny to watch originally, but then she threatened me, and I don't like when she threatens me. So I'll talk about it, folks, still. And that is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. This is on Peacock right now. So, Destiny, this is on Peacock right now. This is on Peacock right now, but no, I'm just kidding. But anyways, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, you can see here, definitely one of the worst rated horror movies, definitely of the new modern era. So not a lot of people liked it, but you can tell from this 50% right here from the fans of Rotten Tomatoes, not the worst movie in the world. And I'll be honest, I liked it for what it was. Is it a bad horror movie? Absolutely it is. But did they know that it is a bad horror movie and they just went with it and had a good time with it? Absolutely they did. And that's why I watch those bad movies. If I know the people making them know that it's a bad movie of what they're making. Even though the traditional saying is we don't go out to make a bad movie intentionally. I feel like a little part of me does think that they actually went out and made this movie bad, but they didn't get the kind of like the cult following that it has now and the popularity of it to actually create the second one that comes out later this year. So I'm kind of surprised with that, but I liked what I watched. I just hated I had to spend $10 on it and make a 30-minute trip just to go see it. Kind of didn't like that very much, but it is what it is. I was that curious about it. So, Destiny, I know you kind of already threatened me with this movie, but I just want to double check. You are never going to watch this movie, or is there going to be a part of you that might watch it in the future?
See, I don't know. I just don't have any interest, honestly. I know Gavin's saying most 80s movies are bad, which they are. But I don't know. There's something about watching a bad 80s movie that at least sometimes there's like charm.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something that's still so like, I don't know. Watching even watching Bloodhook, terrible movie. Awful movie. But there's still something about it that I was like, oh, I don't know. Then something like this, again, I have seen the kill count. So I've seen how it plays out. Like, I know parts of it, but it's just, I don't know. And what I really think it is, honestly, and not even so much the movie, it was how, like, the director was acting when people did not like this movie and voiced that they did not like this movie, and then started to attack them, and it became like a whole thing. And I saw this with multiple different people, and I was like, wow, that's actually crazy. Why would you do that? If you put out a movie like this, some people are not going to like it. Like, even if you're trying to nail a tone, people still don't have to like that tone. So I really think that's kind of more what it is. And it's like kind of like the same thing with how I feel about Child's Play 2019. It's not even so much that I hate the movie, it's I hate that it was made because it shouldn't have been made. And so it's more of the behind the scenes stuff that then bleeds into how I feel about the movie. Is that necessarily fair? A little bit. He was the director. You can't do that. So I don't know. It put a really bad taste in my mouth. And do I really want to watch that and like support
it?
I don't know. I don't think I do. So, and also I just don't have any real interest in watching these movies that are like childhood, things turned into scary. Like, that's just not my thing. So yeah, I have and I know I saw the poster for the new one. I was like, okay, y'all have fun. Do your thing. I will not be watching, but if you like it, go off. Same thing with the Mickey Mouse movies.
Yeah, that one I can't do.
No thanks. I'm not. Again, there's just so many movies that I really want to watch that I would rather watch than this. And there's so many movies I would rather rewatch than watch this. So I just don't. Yeah. Long story short, probably not unless I'm watching it with a group of people and we're drinking. I will not be watching alone. Again,
October.
I'm going down. We're taking other people down with me because I will not suffer alone with this.
That might be approaching October, but I don't think I'm going to win that little fight either. But I am agree. But I am agree with you, though, that the Mickey Mouse movie, yeah, that's pushing it way too far. I'm like, no, thank you, because I have a special place in my heart for the mouse in those classic Disney movies. That's pretty much my childhood and my introduction to movies. So I can't just see, like, South Park was rough enough already seeing Mickey Mouse. Like, that almost ruined it for me, even though I just find that mouse fucking hilarious. Like, what? But so no Mickey Mouse, but for the Winnie the Pooh one, I'll definitely go see the second one because, again, I'm just curious with, like, is it actually going to be better even or could it be better with a bigger budget, or like, is it still going to be the same stuff? Because even so I think Raymond said it that the movie comes out next month, which I didn't know that, which I will keep an eye out for that for a March release. But I saw the first one, so might as well go see the second one if it's showing. But if I have to go do a 30-minute drive and actually buy the ticket and not use my AMC stub membership, I might wait for it to stream. But other than that, though, the movie itself, it's bad, but I appreciate it for at least it did what it wanted to do. So, all right, so let's. That was way longer for Blood and Honey than I was trying to talk about, but you know what? That's funny. But let's go from one bear to another bear, but this bear is doing drugs, and that's Cocaine Bear. We're going to talk about our good old bear friend of Pablo Escobar. That's the name of the bear. This is actually based off of a true Tennessean and Georgia story. Actually happened in my near the town I live in of Knoxville, Tennessee. That's where kind of like this story originated from. And this is just a bloody good time for me. It kind of does feel like the people who did this movie did a line of coke and then made this movie. But I appreciate it. It was just a solid time. Like, would I ever watch this movie again? More than likely not, but it definitely had one funny scene where the bear collapses on a dude, and then just some form of dialogue was used during it, and I've laughed about it. But other than that, though, I gave it a solid 3 out of 5, which we talked about on an episode of Back from the Dead before. 3 out of 5, not a good place to be on my letterbox list. But Destiny, what about you? Do you have a good time with this movie?
Yeah, now this one, I enjoyed so much, and definitely a lot more than I was expecting it to. I was gonna go in. I was like, okay, if it's like a decent time, awesome. Because I remember it was a Friday when I watched this because I got off work. I was laying in bed. And I was like, I'm on TikTok. Let me actually watch a movie. And so I seen Cocaine Bear. I was like, I'm gonna watch this, and I had so much fun. I don't know if it's just because it caught me on like a good day. Maybe if I would have watched this like not in a great mood, I wouldn't have had so much fun with it. But I was constantly laughing, like legitimately like laughing out loud. The scene with the ambulance. Hello. When everyone's like funniest moment of the year, I was like, the only thing I can even think of is the fucking bear jumping into that ambulance because that was hilarious. That was so funny.
And that was a real horror award winner, by the way, which congratulations to that particular scene.
Yeah, it was funny. The jokes were funny. The characters were funny. I actually like the story. It's multiple stories all like joined into one, but like I like the characters for the most part. You have Mitch from Modern Family showing up. Which is great because I did not know he was in it at all. But it makes sense. It's Elizabeth Banks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth Banks, who has been on Modern Family. They've worked together and they're friends, like really close friends on the show. So it's great to see him in this too. Doesn't end well, but whatever. But yeah, I had so much fun. I wasn't expecting it to like it as much. I gave it an honorable mention for a top 10 of the year. It didn't make my top 10 list, but it's definitely one I'm not going to watch constantly, but I'll go back to it. Like, again, if it's like a group of friends watching it, like I'll watch it with friends because I had a good time overall. I thought it was just a good, silly movie.
Like, just turn your brain off and just enjoy for what it is.
Yeah, because I mean, come on, it's a bear on cocaine.
I just love that. I like that phone call. It goes, the bear is doing cocaine. Like,
and it is crazy. I mean, in real life, it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't kill people, but it did die. It overdosed because that's a fucking lot of cocaine. Like anyone would. So poor bear in real life, it died.
Yeah, and if you're interested about seeing the actual bear of Pablo Escobar, it's actually in a mall in Kentucky. So if you actually want to see the stuffed legendary bear, it's there for some reason, even though Kentucky had nothing to do with this. It was only Tennessee, East Tennessee, and Norfolk, Georgia that had most of to do what this movie was based off about. So why it's in Kentucky, I do not know. And yes, I was actually looking that up, Evil Alex, that Carrie Russell was in this movie, and I thought she did a solid job. I actually got to know her in a little movie called Antlers a couple of years ago, and I thought she was really good in it.
Yeah, I thought she was good in this.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I might give Cocaine Bear another watch because, like you say, it caught you on a good day. It probably didn't just catch me on a good day. So I might just give it a rewatch and see like if it does something for me. If not, I'm still going to laugh. And if it's a comedy movie, I want to laugh. So that is Cocaine Bear. It is on Amazon Prime right now. If you all are interested in seeing a bear doing cocaine. And then the last movie we got here, it is Knock at the Cabin, released on February the 3rd of 2003 for last year. Solid numbers all around. Nothing too bad. Nothing too great about it. It's just your middle of the road type of movie. But thank goodness M. Night Shyamalan has officially came back and actually made a decent movie, because me and Brad still to this day talk about how awful the movie Old was. But so we're finally glad M. Night Shyamalan made this movie. I thought he did a stellar job. And the big standalone performance in this movie was Dave Bautista himself, which, again, he was a real horror award winner for Best Supporting Actor, and absolutely agree with that. He knocked it out of the park. He was awesome. And I thought everyone else was awesome, too, even the red-haired guy from Harry Potter, which I thought that was just random. It's hard to unsee a character for what he has played for so many years. But overall, movie was great. I think I gave it a solid 4 out of 5. So what about you, Destiny? Did you like this movie? Or is it like one of your top M. Night Shyamalan movies? Or just what are your overall thoughts about this?
I thought this movie was okay. I didn't see it in theaters. I waited till it was streaming. And I like every time we talk about this movie, I always say the same thing. My biggest problem with it is that all the gore was cutaway, and you would just see like the after. And I was like, dude, no. I really feel like we should have seen the gore because, again, these people are conveying this crazy thing. And they're trying to convince this family that this is real. And if someone here does not die, the world will end. That's insane. And of course, like, they're still doing the thing. They are still, you know, taking their own lives. That's still happening. But I feel like if we were to see it happening, that would be more convincing for their story. You know what I mean? Like, because they still have to convince us too. Because this could still, it could go either way. We don't know. And so, like, I just feel like seeing the actual gore on screen would have made it more impactful for what they are trying to tell.
To prove. Yeah.
Yeah. But Dave Bautista, he was great in this. You know, I agree with that. He was standout performance. I thought he was wonderful. And it's messed up. Like, what is going on is so insane. And I think I gave it 3 out of 5. So nothing, you know, I didn't hate it or anything. It's just, I feel like with the gore, it would have been a lot better.
Right.
Yeah. That was like my main complaint with it. I mean, nothing really besides Dave Bautista really stuck with me though. Like, I do remember the ending. I remember how it all plays out. But nothing really was just like, whoa, except for him. Because he is great. As soon as you see him come on screen, it's like, because this is a big man. Like, built big. And he's intimidating, even though he's trying to be nice. But it's just the words he's saying and how he's saying them. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So, yeah, there's just something about it that fully hit the mark for me. But I know I haven't seen Old, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I prefer you not to because it is awful. So I highly, I hate to hate on a movie like that, but that movie is absolutely awful. Robbie Sobel will tell you different that he actually loves that movie, but me and Brad, any chance we get, we say, oh, that movie's just an old movie. Not like the movie's old, but the actual movie for M. Night Shyamalan is a piece of garbage. So, so it's just like, it was just mainly just disappointing for me and Brad because it was M. Night Shyamalan, it was an interesting idea, and it just fell flat. That's pretty much our take for Old. But for Knock at the Cabin, definitely a step up for what M. Night Shyamalan is used to doing. But, and so you for mentioning Bautista being a big guy, which trust me, me and Brad saw him. He even tried to audition for the Real Horror Awards. That was a scary dude.
Definitely.
And he also doesn't know the term privacy either, which I got to talk to him about that. Hopefully, Leonard is doing okay. But I wanted to end this movie. This is actually probably a good way to stop everything. It's with this particular question with Knock at the Cabin. If you were stuck in that situation, would you do it? Da, da, da.
No.
No. So
again, if I'm going down, we're all going down. You're not. We're not killing each other. Because, like, I'm not killing anyone in my family, first of all.
I'm the same.
You're not killing my partner. If this is me and Brayden, I'd be like, you come at me, I'll stab you. But, like, I'm not stabbing Brayden. You got me fucked up. Okay? No matter how much shit I talk, I'm not stabbing him. And if you try to stab him, I'm stabbing you. So now we have a problem. So I'm not, no. The whole world's ending. Well, I don't care if it's my fault.
Or I'm just going to be sure just to stay away from that, but I'm going to not be like the third person in that situation because I already know where that's going with you. You're going to kick my ass.
Yeah, sorry. No, I still don't.
It's okay. No hard feelings. I would too. I'll probably just take myself out of the equation before I let any of you two happen. So
yeah,
no worries.
I just don't think I could kill someone. And plus, again, it's so crazy to believe. But I am also like supernatural stuff. Yeah, you know, I believe in that. I would probably be like, okay, I believe what you're saying, but we're not doing it. Like,
nope.
I don't know what to tell you. It's like in a cabin in the woods. Like, I can clearly see some shit is real, but it's not happening. So we're all dying. Sorry about it.
Yeah. So I was like, our human race had a turn. We failed, so let's just start anew. Like,
it's,
so
It's bound to happen anyways.
Yeah, it probably might happen, so we might not even need this particular scenario. But no, that I was just kind of curious because it does ask a great question about like if you were in that situation, what would you do? And I love when movies tackle or like present itself that to me of like, would you be like if we put you in this situation, would you do it? I like kind of like movies like that makes us challenge our own ethics and beliefs. So,
yeah, I do too because it just tells you about like humans. When it comes down to like basic human stuff, like we're, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all
animals.
crazy. So, and that is actually all I have from 2023. Did you have anything else?
I do have one more movie, and I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably like a film festival
Okay, for it.
release. And it's called Consecration. And I'm mentioning it because it was actually the first movie I watched this year because it was on Shudder. The cover looked pretty cool. It was not very good. It was another sort of, not like nun. It was about like nuns, but not like a scary demon nun. Nothing like that. But it was like paranormal, like weird shit. It was just okay. I gave it, I think, 2.5 stars. I was like, oh, first movie of the year, and it's this. Cool. I did it to myself. I was like, maybe. And it does have, I can't remember her name, but she's in, I think she's in Catching Fire. She's in one of the Hunger Games movies. Not the first one, but one of the later ones. She plays like a spunky character. She's the one that gets naked in the elevator. That's who she is. She's in this. She's like the main person of the movie. And I thought she did well. It's just the movie wasn't doing anything. It was just boring. And just, so. Yeah.
But to start your 2024, you started with that movie. You're probably like, fuck, why didn't I not start?
On January 1st, I was like, what am I going to put on? Oh. And I fell asleep during for 5 minutes of it. And I woke up and I was like, the movie has to be over, right? And I was like, 5 minutes? What the fuck? We're still in the first act. What happened? It was just
movie's like, no, this movie's like, nope, your ass is waking up for this one. You're watching me.
Yeah, so, but I did watch all of it. It just wasn't very good.
All right. And, we were going to do a Q&A, but I feel like time is about to run out. So we're going to wrap this up soon, but we will take this one question and I'll go with the best and the worst. And then we'll just tie everything up in a nice little bow because we got a jam-packed episode for next month, which I'll go ahead and let y'all know that Back from the Dead will be coming back next month on March the 24th, noon Eastern time. That's when the next show will be. And then let's get Brandon's question. And his question is, would you rather face the apocalyptic world of Knock at the Cabin or A Quiet Place? Which easily for me is going to be Knock at the Cabin because I don't have to face those monsters. So I'm good.
Yeah, I think I would agree. Because A Quiet Place, they're living, they're making do with what they have, but that's like a fucking alien thing. No, I think I would just rather an crazy shit just going on around me, whatever. But having to survive against this alien, and you have to be quiet. It's so hard to be quiet. I can't do it.
Easy.
It's so doing anything, not even just talking, just walking around, all of that just everything go at once. Everything start crashing because I do not want to deal with that.
See, I thought you were going to pick A Quiet Place because Joseph Quinn is in it.
Well, if I was in New York, if this was a set of A Quiet Place Day 1, maybe, but only that. That is it. Even though the thought of that is absolutely terrifying.
Oh,
the first hit, fuck that. That is so scary. So I don't know. I don't know about that. I still might just everything at once.
And Gavin asked the most popular question within the Quiet Place world. One fart and I'm dead.
Yeah, my thing is when I throw up, I am a loud thrower upper.
Super.
Very
you just want
loud.
somebody to notice you of you being sick.
Well, because my thing is I dry heave and it's super loud and I cannot control it because I always get crazy looks. I'm like, do you think I want to fucking sound like this? It sounds like I'm dying. So I wouldn't be able to, and then I throw up too often. I throw up too often and way too loud. I would be dead.
Yeah, so like, and yeah, definitely what Gavin's saying, like that would probably be a difficulty for me. So yeah, I would easily take a knock at the cap and we'll just see what happens and who makes it out of it. So I would go with that one, and then and Gavin's also aggressive thrower upper, and I would say I'm in that department too because I do it loudly intentionally because I want people to notice and check on me. Like, are
Mine's
you
not
okay?
intentional. Mine's awful. Actually, yesterday, fun little story. I had coffee. It wasn't in this cup, but it was a cup like this, like a tumbler cup. I had coffee, and it was sitting on my floor because I was sitting on the edge of my bed on my phone. And I kicked my leg, knocking over my coffee, which knocked out my straw and like the lid off. I just put it back on, not thinking anything of it. I went and got more coffee because I fucking spilled it all. I'm drinking it. We're great. I'm getting towards the end of the cup. Take a drink. Something's in my mouth. Pull it out. It's my own hair. But still.
Yeah.
Feeling of a hair in your mouth. So I got it out and I threw it away. I'm like sitting there. I was like nauseous. Yeah. I was like, please don't throw up. Please don't throw up. So I'm just like breathing. And then I obviously dumped the rest of the coffee out because I'm not drinking that shit anymore. There's another hair in it. That sent me. I was downstairs talking to my aunt and my mom, and I'm looking at my aunt. She's looking at me, and I just gag. And then here it comes because I'm trying to tell them why I'm like gagging. And the more I'm telling the story, the more it's happening. And then, I didn't actually throw up, but I did run to the bathroom because it was like, I was like, something's about to happen. But yeah, it was actually very traumatic. That was so fucking nasty. Even if it's your own hair, the feeling of a hair being in your mouth. Mm-hmm. Oh, nasty.
Yeah. Not a good thing. So but I'm glad you avoided that tragedy. So, just when you knock it over, just clean it out and just get you a new thing of coffee.
I know. I was like in such a, and I did not see, because I looked at my straw. I didn't just put it in, but I did like kind of look at it. And I was like, looks fine, put it in there. But I guess it just fucking, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Because my hair is everywhere. But it does not need to be in my drink.
No, absolutely it does not. So let's go ahead and quickly go with the worst and the best, and then let's close on out of here. So the worst of the worst, as you all can mostly assume, that Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey takes most of the category of worst, so stay away from that movie. With The Prodigy from the Rotten Tomato fans says stay away from that movie, so stay away from those. And the best ones that you should be paying a close attention to is House on Haunted Hill, the original, and In the Mouth of Madness, which I agree on both accounts, from what you said about In the Mouth of Madness and from what I witnessed with the House on Haunted Hill. So Destiny, real quickly, what are like maybe 2 or 3 movies you would suggest people to watch?
Well, definitely House on Haunted Hill, because that's just a classic. In the Mouth of Madness. That's probably my favorite, honestly, out of all of them. And then Friday the 13th, because I love the remake, but I feel like most people have seen that. But yeah, I would say In the Mouth of Madness is definitely one that I really, really enjoyed. Like, I knew I was going to enjoy it because it's John Carpenter. But sometimes I'm like, okay, 3.5, you know? But this one, I gave it a 4. I was kind of leaning towards a 4.5, but I stayed with the 4. But yeah, I really thought that one was so good. Very enjoyable.
Hell yeah. And I'm going to definitely add it to my watch list as well, because I've been curious about it as well. So I haven't seen it, but I'll still even throw it out there. In the Mouth of Madness deserves to be talked about for that, like all the reasons that you stated. So I'll use that as one of mine. Let's see here. What other movie can I say? In the House on Haunted Hill, the original, I feel like you need to watch it just because due to respect out past horror movies, that what the movies we get today, watch that one. And then for some reason, or also Happy Death Day to you. I feel like most people have seen it, but just in case, it's just a fun watch. Go ahead and give it a watch. And that's all I got.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, Chester, yeah. Jenna Malone is the girl from Consecration who was in whatever Hunger Games movie, because she's in one that I haven't seen, because I think she's in the last one, because I never watched the last one, just because I never did, really. There's no other reason besides I just never did. So I think that's the one she's in, because I don't remember seeing her character, but I've seen TikToks of her character.
Hell yeah. So let's see here. Just double checking one more time. Nope, I think we're good. And Blu-ray, I saw you, my friend. Hopefully everything's going well for you, but we're closing up. So guys, that is it for Back from the Dead of February. We are coming back again at the end of March for another jam-packed episode. So Destiny, thank you once again for hanging out with me, talking about the horror movie anniversaries for February. Hopefully everybody has a great day, and we will see you all next month for the next episode.